Back now on Triad Today, and healthcare, of course, is big in the news, and a lot of information out there. I thought it would be appropriate to call on an expert to sit with us for a few minutes, and let's talk about healthcare, and especially in one particular hospital. Next to me is our good friend Chris Lumsden. He's President and CEO of Northern Regional Hospital, based in Mount Airy, good old Surry County. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to be here.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
I've heard you describe Northern Regional Hospital as a community-based hospital. Now, in my mind, I think I know what you mean, but let's be clear. What do you mean by that, and what makes Northern Regional unique?
Well, we are governed by a board of directors. Decisions about the hospital and the direction of the hospital are made at the local level. So we are an independent, community-based hospital located, as you said, in Mount Airy, North Carolina.
And decisions not coming from 1,000 miles away.
That's correct.
There are lots of ways for a hospital to measure success, and I think you sent me an email one day talking about that you recruit physicians in a certain way that helps to ensure that success. What did you mean by that?
Well, there's an old saying, you vote with your time and you vote with your money. And in this case, we've decided to vote with our time and our money. So we've applied a lot of resources to the effort of recruiting new physicians to our community. And this past year, 2020, was a very successful year in that we recruited 17 physicians and doctors and APCs to Northern Regional Hospital. So good year for us.
You also, and it might have been you or Ashley, sent me an email one day and said, be sure to talk about the grow your own strategy. Now, normally we're at the Senior Botanical Garden, so I thought, well, maybe that has to do with growing plants or something. What do you mean, what is the grow your own strategy?
Well, a vast number of our employees, and we employ 1,000 caregivers, are from the Surry County, Mount Airy region. So in terms of recruiting talented, skillful caregivers, we decided it was important to, again, apply resources to allowing our employees and people from the community to go back to school to receive degrees and certificates and so on. Okay. So we have created a number of scholarship programs. We've enhanced our employee education assistance program, so we are investing in our people to allow them to go back to school in hopes that they'll return to Northern Regional Hospital, and so far the strategy's worked out pretty nicely.
I just think that's great. Now, what kinds of projects and programs are you engaged in that can actually foster growth and continued employment?
Yeah, jobs is high on my list, and a growth strategy as well. So when I arrived at Northern Regional Hospital, the focus was on how do we smartly and thoughtfully grow clinical services and create more jobs for our community. And that's exactly what we have done. So we've rebranded the hospital to Northern Regional Hospital that Ashley Lancaster was the lead on. We've opened an urgent care center here in the last 3 months, which has been very successful. Revamped our campus, added some new services to our hospital, and just overall trying to improve the position that we have in our market.
And it's really contributed to, has economic impact to it, helps with economic development. So, I mean, it's important.
It is. I have some history in economic development and higher education, so I recognize that in a smaller community that the hospital is really critically important to economic development. So as goes the hospital, sometimes as goes the community, and vice versa as well. So we have become very involved, engaged in Surry County and Mount Airy region in terms of telling our story and being actively engaged and involved in community and civic activities.
Chris, thanks for coming down and visiting with us.
You bet. Good to be here. Thank you.
We'll be right back.